And a happy Friday to you, Lanny Ford. Michael Powell, the professor, is in the house today. Beautiful day outside. We got about 32 degrees, and it's going to be warm today, upper 60s.
Oh, yeah.
Today and tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And I think some ugly weather is coming Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's brisk this morning, but by mid-afternoon it's going to be in the 60s. And
I like the long sleeves early.
Yeah.
And then being able to go to short sleeves.
Short sleeves.
Or I could wear a long sleeve T-shirt year round.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You could do that.
That wouldn't bother me at all.
But you're not wearing shorts today, I noticed.
No, because I have to work.
You got to work.
I got to work my real job.
They won't let you wear shorts on the real job.
That's what gets me in trouble. I always tell folks if I have to go out when I am on vacation, if I have to go out and do something. Mm-hmm. If I go in a store and I'm in shorts, that's how you know I'm on vacation. Because if I'm on vacation and I'm going to do something for the company, I'm going to wear what I want to wear.
Yeah. They can't say anything about
that's
that.
That's correct.
Because you're really on
vacation. I don't think they would say anything anyway, but I try to do it professionally.
Sure.
I wear the only thing I wear, Mr. Walmart, I guess you'd call me, I wear these Wrangler cargo pants, and they come in khakis and they're jeans because I may be crawling on the floor under a desk. I may be going up ladders, so I don't, I just wear some type of pants and a shirt. And,
so it's a jean that looks like khakis.
No, the jeans are actually jeans, but they're cargos. They got the pockets because I carry so much stuff. And then
but I see you in khakis a lot too.
And that's what I got on now. Yeah. But they're almost like a parachute type material, real lightweight, got some flex to it. And that's what I think
you're doing your Jim Harbaugh.
Yes, I could wear khakis year round every day. Doesn't bother me.
That's what he does.
Yeah, doesn't bother me.
Even when he went on his interview to Minnesota, the Vikings.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. let me give you a couple of things that's come out that I am got some opinions on. That's the way I am. Hall of Fame was announced last night. I'm okay. I got reservations about one. I'll get into that. Aaron Rodgers got the MVP. Do you like? I know it's supposed to be the regular season, but
I know he was so bad
in the playoffs
against the 49ers.
Yeah,
10 points.
That's
not an MVP performance.
No, and so, but I don't know how you fix it.
Yeah,
I don't know how you fix it.
I kind of thought. With Brady,
Morning, Milton.
With Brady leading every category under the sun in passing.
Let me ask you this:
and it is his swan song,
but nobody knew that. Had everyone knew, if Brady had said at the end of the year, Super Bowl or not, I'm hanging it up after this year,
he would have got it.
He would have got it.
You're right.
He would have got the sentimental vote.
There was still that doubt: would he come back for year number 45 in his life?
Yeah. But I don't know that Brady would have wanted it on those terms. Even though he did have a spectacular year, I don't think he would have wanted that to be the deciding factor.
No, he wouldn't.
Of getting.
No, the sentiment just because this is his last year.
Yeah. He would want that to be the thing that kind of pushed him over the top, I don't think.
Well, it was one of the two. I'd rather see Brady because of his announcement, but I guess Rodgers is okay, although he was not very good in the playoff game.
I tell Four all the time, I don't have to like him, right? I have to appreciate and admire what he accomplishes, but I don't have to like him because I don't like him.
Yeah,
I don't like the way he is.
He's got that California arrogance about him.
And I don't think that would, when Brady left the Patriots, you saw a different Brady because everybody in New England has the same aura about them. Mm-hmm. They're not personable.
No.
They're just there for a job.
Right.
And then when Brady left, you saw a different side of him that you couldn't see when he was there. Mm-hmm. And so I took a different look at him from that perspective. But Milton said that was a gift to Rodgers, the MVP.
Well, Rodgers is one of the best to play the game, but ultimately you're defined by, you've only been in one Super Bowl. How many times have the Packers lost the NFC Championship game? Mm-hmm. Does that mean that Rodgers at some point when you really need him to win a big game. He, for some reason, either his leadership or something, they just can't get it done.
Mm-hmm. Morning, Richie.
Is that a legitimate
criticism? Milton says he's a choke in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was building.
I mean, that's not being harsh. I think that's being reality.
Being reality.
You know,
I mean, you look at it.
You can say somebody's a choke and not be derogatory about it because they can't handle a big moment.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
And the other reason the other thing that bothers me so much about Rodgers is he really never takes a lot of responsibility in the loss side.
No.
It's always somebody else. We didn't have this. We didn't have that. And that's always bothered me. No, I think you've got to own it all.
No, he can't even pretend to be humble.
No,
after a loss.
He doesn't have it.
No.
Richie, good morning. Glad to have you. Richie, you're a Carolina guy, aren't you? Just let me know yes or no because I got some Carolina questions we'll get into just a little bit later on. Let me give you this. Let me give you the Hall of Fame players that are going into the Hall. And the ones that are going in, it was the first time since 2012 a first-time eligible finalist was not selected.
Ooh.
4 of the 5 modern era enshrinees are on the defensive side. 4 of the 5 were eligible for at least 10 years. Now, here's who went in. Tackle Tony Baselli. He should have already been in.
Oh, absolutely.
He was the first draft pick for Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. He was taken second overall. A spectacular career.
Great career it was the Ravens.
Safety Leroy Butler. Did he not play for Green Bay?
He goes back to the Green Bay.
Yes.
heydays.
I mean, you're almost talking Bart Starr type.
Yeah.
I think he's been eligible for 20 years.
You are.
Defensive tackle end Richard Seymour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
The Bears, great D of 85.
Defensive tackle Bryant Young. And linebacker Sam Mills. That's the one that bothers me because we had this discussion when he was nominated and got down to a finalist. What inside of his career defined him other than his contribution as a player and human being, okay, what he brought to the league.
The humanitarian
end. Yes, and then his untimely passing at a young age due to cancer.
That had to figure in.
But I guess what I'm getting to is what are the real qualifications requirements for Hall of Fame?
I know.
You know, like we talked before, Matthew Stafford. He needs to win a Super Bowl to be able to be a Hall of Fame candidate, even though he's put up monster numbers at a terrible franchise for 10 years.
Yeah, he has to win the Super Bowl to get.
Or it can't validate what he is.
To be in that discussion, I think.
So, but is that right? Should it be that way? Because I'll go back again, Sam Mills, great individual, but what inside of his career – he played for the Saints and the Panthers.
Yeah, and he had the 1 year with the Panthers where they went to the Super Bowl.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. But I'm like you. Does he have the body of work on the field to make him a really good Hall of Fame candidate?
That was me, and I'll give you some numbers. Then in the non-modern era enshrinees, Cliff Branch.
Oh yeah, my God,
great receiver.
Yeah,
former NFL director of officiating Art McAnally, and he was former Rams, Eagles, and Chiefs coach Dick Vermeil.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but some of those that didn't, as first-year candidates, DeMarcus Ware, linebacker, wide receiver Andre Johnson, and punt kick returner Devin Hester. And then of the 5 modern era, Baselli is the only offensive player, 16th year of eligibility. Sam Mills, 20th year. I believe if he hadn't went in this year, he would have been in that senior class. I want to say it's 20 years that you stay on the modern era. Butler.
Baseball is less, right?
I think so.
10 years.
I think so.
That's why we'll never see Barry Bonds.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Clemens. And there were a couple more. Butler was in his 16th year. Young was in his 10th year. Mills, and here's where it is, 5-time Pro Bowl selection with the Saints, with the Panthers, and then he was one of the best players from the USFL during that time. If that's his top qualifications, top offering to be in the Hall of Fame, there's a lot of people that's been 5-time Pro Bowl selections.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I just
not
think,
a huge resume.
Mm-hmm. I just didn't. I guess I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
It was Leroy Butler that created the Lambeau leap.
He should be in for that alone. But he was obviously a great defensive back during the Green Bay's glory years.
And Richard Seymour, I'm trying to remember, is he from South Carolina? Did I read that? Or
sure.
played at South Carolina?
Could be.
I was thinking that's right. Let me see if I can. I'll do a little Google on him, but I thought I read that somewhere. He's got some ties to the Carolinas somehow. I just don't know what that is. But, it is what it is. No, I know what it is. He's a dog. Played at Georgia. Richard Seymour.
Oh, Georgia, okay.
Played, and he's from Gadsden, South Carolina. But Georgia was what I was thinking. He played his time at Georgia. Milton said Mills was undersized. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I just.
Yeah, he was not he was more like a strong safety. He wasn't a huge guy.
Well, that's why it was USFL to start with.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have the size.
I am impressed with the fact he was 5-time All-Pro Bowl with the Saints. But the real deal is the All-Pro status, right? When the players themselves.
The All-Pro is how you get the money.
That's how you get
the money. That's in the contract.
Pro Bowl is just
that's popularity.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
And he started. Looking at Sam Mills' career, drafted by the Browns, but a practice squad member by the Browns in 81. Then he played a season with the Argonauts in Toronto. Then he played 3 seasons with the Philadelphia/Baltimore Stars in the USFL. Then was with the Saints from 86 to 94 and the Panthers from 95 to 97. Okay. But, first team All-Pro one time.
Wait a minute, what was his last year with the Panthers?
97.
Oh, okay. So he was with the team that got to the NFC Championship that was coached by Dom Capers.
But did he not – he got to in the first Super Bowl. That was in the second year of the franchise, wasn't it?
No. They didn't get to the Super Bowl.
They got to the championship.
They got to the NFC Championship.
Right.
Their second.
And they went to Green Bay.
Right,
and got beat.
Green Bay and got beat.
All right, so he was first team All-Pro one time, and that's the money. That's the money call right there.
Right.
He was second team All-Pro 2 times.
Okay.
5-time Pro Bowler.
Now, how much of that was with the Saints?
The Pro Bowl stuff,
of it.
all but 96, and that's when he made All-Pro with the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
The rest of it was with the Saints.
Yeah.
3-time All-USFL. 2-time USFL champion, USFL all-time team.
Do we really count the U.S.? I mean, I don't know. I guess you do.
I'm just, I'm reading through here. He played his college ball at Montclair State.
Right.
He had 1,300 tackles, 20 sacks, 11 interceptions, 4 defensive touchdowns.
Okay.
But none of those, I guess what I'm saying, none of those are wow stats.
No.
When you think of defensive linebackers.
Right.
But I'm glad that he made it.
Sure.
That's awesome.
For his family, it's cool.
Yeah. Juju says Sam Mills' story after franchise first win versus the Jets, where he had a game-clinching interception. He kept the team bus heading back to Charlotte from Clemson, waiting so as to do a live radio interview with Juju Phillips, who was covering the Panthers at that time, using an old box cell phone from ESPN Radio.
Yeah.
Steve Levy and Merle Hodge were the studio co-hosts that day. Sam couldn't and wouldn't say no to a reporter back in the day. one of the most genuine, authentic athletes you'll ever meet. He's a Hall of Fame person for certain. That's the point, Juju. Yeah. That's the thing, because you've got some Hall of Fame members that are genuinely a-holes, but they get in because they had the numbers. There's not a consistency. I don't care if it's the NFL or who it is. There's not a consistency. Todd says, I totally agree, but I've been told it is the Pro Football Hall of Fame, not the NFL
Not the NFL.
Hall of
It
Fame.
is the Pro Football Hall of
Which would go back to the USFL
the
thing.
USFL thing, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Well, there's no question. I agree with Juju. A guy was a great guy, humanitarian in every respect, and tragic early death. But hey, I'm glad for his family. It certainly doesn't hurt the Panthers to have someone.
I agree.
It didn't really come with the Panthers. It was more so with the Saints.
Yep, I agree 100%. Let me take a break, and we got some more topics we'll get into. We want to talk about the Carolina coaching tree. That's why I need you, Richie. I'm also going to break mold here, and I'm going to talk a little NBA with the Ben Simmons trade.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, I was
you?
even texting Brett Keever, who's the official NBA correspondent.
He is, for Sports Talk.
Knowledge individual for us here.
He's the man.
He's the man. So back in a moment.
Sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rember today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Welcome back. Glad to have you back here on a Friday morning. Beautiful day outside.
Oh, it is.
Mark, I don't know if you're up here and going to play golf. If you are, you picked a wonderful day for it, my friend, because it's going to be nice outside today. I still got some more topics. I got all kinds of things today to talk about. So get ready. I'm going to hit you with them. I'm going to go back to Monday nights. I think it was Monday night, wasn't that? Carolina and Clemson. Wednesday night. Which was it? Monday night, Wednesday night? One of those nights.
Yeah.
Carolina Clemson played. And you had to watch the
I think that was
game.
Monday night or Tuesday. Yeah, one of those.
Mark said he's teeing off at 12. Good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Carolina and Clemson, where I guess the best phrase is, were lowered to the ACC network. That used to Carolina was playing. That was prime time. They were on somewhere network-wise.
Yeah.
Richie said it was Tuesday. It was an ugly game. My Tigers let them back in. It came down to the wire. It's a great finish, but came down to the wire and Carolina won. A couple things from that, and this is where I need you, Richie. A couple things from that game. The first thing was, I am not a feminist, I guess you'd say. The broadcast crew they had on that game was not good.
Was it Debbie Antonelli?
Yes, from State.
Who is considered probably the best, one of the better female announcers.
The problem was there was no chemistry between her and the guy that was with her on the broadcast. And you could tell. And I cannot remember his name.
That's interesting.
And it did not flow.
Right.
And I'll tell you the other thing. This was the thing that I couldn't tell.
Were they getting each other's way?
Yeah, I couldn't tell who was play-by-play.
Yeah, you got to have a demarcation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You really do.
And I like female announcers. I don't have any problem with that.
No.
And I cannot think of her name. I'm not a Doris Burke fan. I'll go ahead and tell you that. And the folks that she does softball and she does some Major League Baseball. She was a great softball player. Anyway, she's usually on the crew, and I'm trying to think who does the play-by-play. I watch a lot of the Women's World Series when it comes down to that.
I do too.
And those broadcast crews are unbelievable.
Yeah, they know their stuff.
Jennifer Menendez or something like that. She does like for the Yankees or somebody maybe. But Mendoza, that's it. Thank you, Richie. And she does a great job. So it's not that I have a problem with female. Now, my wife don't care for it, but I don't have a problem if you're good and you're not just there to put a female on the air.
Let me ask you this then. What do you think of Doris Ward?
Doris Ward. Where would I have heard her?
Is it Doris Ward? I can't remember.
You're thinking Doris Burke.
Burke.
Do not care for Doris Burke.
Okay.
Okay? And I'll tell you why.
NBA.
And I'll tell you why.
Doris Burke, I'm sorry.
They would, when Cowherd was on ESPN, she would be a fill-in for him on that 3-hour show, and she was terrible.
Okay.
And so I just had a bad taste, and I called my ESPN affiliate rep. I said, why are you doing this? He said, well, bitch at me. Don't bitch at anybody else because that won't go over well, because she was one of the ones marked to advance up the ladder. And I just didn't care for it. But the problem I had Monday night, and Richie, if you watched it, Mike, you couldn't tell who was the lead. There was no flow to the broadcast. That was the biggest concern I had with it.
Well, that should have been worked out before.
I just couldn't tell. That it was almost like they had never worked together.
And that's weird because Debbie's done a lot of games, and she a pro.
Stellar career at NC State.
Yeah, I mean, she should kind of know when.
And I'll watch again because maybe I just got a bad night.
Yeah. Speaking of bad nights in your Clemson Tigers, I wonder if anybody saw the play in the in
Brandon
Duke's
brought that up.
82-64 victory over Clemson. The highlight was Wendell Moore of Duke was going away on a breakaway dunk and was undercut by David Collins of Clemson. Moore came down hard. Coach Krzyzewski came out on the court. Players from both sides started yelling, had to restrain. Collins was ejected. Krzyzewski called it a dangerous play. So I guess the question is, and then, of course, Collins apologized on social media, but besides the in-game ejection, should there be any further punishment for?
Not unless there's something already specified there.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you make it up as you go. Now, if there's room for, here it is, Mike, and let me get it here big.
We're trying to get it. There's a breakaway dunk. Here we go. Yeah, here it is.
And that was yes, and that was he was the guy that got the ball stolen from. I guess he felt like there should have been a foul there.
Oh, that looked like a deliberate undercut.
I agree. No. I agree 100%. Nope, I agree 100%.
Do you eject him for one more game, or do you is
whatever's in the procedures? Yeah. You know, I don't know.
That was an obvious undercut.
Isn't there something in there about flagrant fouls?
Should be.
Okay, so whatever the flagrant foul thing is. Richie said that broadcast was about as bad as he had seen in a while. And it was because they didn't flow, right, Richie, on that, going back to Deborah Antonelli. Mark said Doris Burke was awful on Cowherd's show, awful, and she hadn't gotten much better. But she was kind of one of those chosen ESPN personalities to go up the ladder.
She seems much better on the sideline thing.
Yes,
when she's talking to players and coaches.
Yeah.
And I'm not demeaning that because she's done play-by-play
but
too.
Everybody – there are certain people that are better in certain rules. Right. Has nothing to do with their male or female.
Not at all.
Because I'll tell you, and I don't think she's going to retire. I think she had a problem with NBC, and you'll see her somewhere else, is Michelle Tafoya. Michelle Tafoya and Susie Colbert, when they were on the sideline back in the day, none better. And Holly Rowe. I mean, there's just certain ones that they're very professional at their jobs.
Holly Rowe seems to be climbing up the ladder and getting a lot better assignments. I didn't know about Michelle Tafoya's problem with NBC, though. I know she left and finished.
She got ambushed on The View. About vaccines and stuff like that, and she spoke her opinion. And they said they didn't suspend her, but if you remember, she was missing about 3 games. Right. And they were saying, well, you know,
she
sometimes
shouldn't have agreed to be on The View. That's a good.
You don't go on Maury.
You don't go on Maury. You don't go on The View.
You don't go on Jerry Springer. I mean, there's just certain things.
Shows
yeah,
that could do you no good.
Mm-hmm. And they let you get abused. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
So she gave her opinion about vaccine.
Something, and they got into a little
thing.
Yeah, and it wasn't good.
Well, here's my question, guys. What in the world ever happened to Rachel Nichols? She just disappeared.
She did. After there was there again, you have things that happen, and it's a stigma. Erin Andrews, I like Erin Andrews.
Yeah, I like Erin.
The thing that I'm different about Erin Andrews is not eye candy to me. I'll take her as her analysis, but never has been.
So that's eye candy doesn't influence your opinion on her.
Okay. Because I like her as the analyst. It's for what she does.
She is good.
Yeah.
She is good.
And I'll tell you another one that I really like, and she is on – I think she does some things with the Fox crowd, and I want to say she's on the pre-show on Sundays, and I cannot remember her name, but she's very good too. I don't – if you really know what you're doing –
You're talking about Sam Ponder. She's ESPN.
No, but I like Sam Ponder too. Yeah. I just like people that knows what they're doing. Right. Brandon said, I believe Nichols is working on a lawsuit. There you go.
So.
There you go.
Because she's just gone from the network. Whereas Maria Taylor, for whom she made –
when that's who Rachel
made the comment about – is now big time on, is it NBC, on their show?
I think so. Well, here's the thing, and this is a total sideline, just from my time I spent as an ESPN affiliate.
Right.
They pick people that they want to run up the ladder.
They do.
Whether they're good or bad, or whether they're accepted by their affiliates, by the audience.
They throw them on you, right?
They do, because they're trying to come up with a mix to get the clicks, to get the dollars, and I think sometimes they lose sight of the quality of the programming trying to make certain people happy.
One mistake they made was the ascendancy of Jamel Hill. That didn't go too good.
And Michael
Smith.
That was a terrible show.
Oh, God.
That was a terrible show.
Toxic, actually.
No, I just didn't care for that. Didn't care for that. Carissa Thompson.
That's right.
Carissa Thompson is very good. I've seen her interviews and stuff that she's done. She is part of Fox.
Right.
But she does she's on the Fox Kickoff, which is the pre-show. Cal Hurd's on there, Michael Vick, Tony Gonzalez, Peter Schrager. Yeah. Those are some of the guys that are on that. She does a really good job with that. Mm-hmm. All right, let me go back to Carolina before I take a break since you're here, Richie. Milton said Rachel Nichols called ESPN out on their BS. And yeah, and that's kind of what happened.
Well, that's one way of putting it, yeah.
Richie said who they put on the team of Corey Alexander and whoever he does games with needs to stop. There's some out there I don't know. Another ESPN –
Corey does get on my nerves a bit.
Another ESPN story, don't know if you've seen it or not, Golick Jr. has left ESPN.
I did not know.
Yes, he's left, and he's going to surf for somewhere else too because he's pretty good.
Yeah,
he'll surf for somewhere else. So let me go back to Carolina. Richie, here's my question, and I think I talked about this with Juju on Wednesday. When does North Carolina decide we got to go outside the family for a head coach? You're talking about well over 50 years. When did Dean start? In the 50s?
I think so.
At Carolina? So you're in 70 years, close to 70 years.
Started about 58.
Inside the family. So I guess my question would be, let's say you had a former Duke player that played in the pros, then went into college coaching, had a consistent top 15 team, consistent runs in the tournament, but a smaller school and couldn't get there. If you were North Carolina, would you not go hire him if you felt like he could take you to the next level, or do you just give it to somebody because they've been in the family? And I'm not a Carolina fan, so I can't really speak on those terms.
They've had mixed results staying in the family. Remember the disastrous regime of Matt Doherty.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Bill Guthridge was the same way.
Same way.
But Bill was rewarded for his loyalty.
Yeah, and Bill knew he wasn't going to do it over a couple of years anyway. It was just as you say, a reward for being with Dean all those years. Mm-hmm. And now we have Hubie Davis. Obviously, that's a guy who's in the family, played there, was on the bench for 9 years. But how's that going to work? I don't know.
And I know it's early. I just don't see it. I don't see it working. I think it's going to be another Matt Doherty. I think it's going to be another Matt Doherty.
Okay.
And it goes back. Was he rewarded for being on Roy's bench?
Well, I think that's who Roy wanted to succeed him.
And here's the deal. This is the bad part. He's never coached anywhere else, never been a head coach.
No,
he started in 2012.
Then he was on was he the ESPN? Or he did some air work. I mean,
but I'm just saying from a coaching standpoint.
No, he hasn't.
He went to work for Roy in 2012
until
he was made head coach.
That's it.
Is that a proven track record?
Well, he did coach at the highest level, although it's not the head coaching job. I don't know whether was he involved in recruiting? Probably.
I would say so. I would say so, but I still.
And would you say that during his tenure there that Carolina's recruited extremely well or very well? I'd say they barely recruited well.
That's why they've not been that successful, in my opinion.
And then you add the academic scandal too, and that was a problem for a while. But I don't think they're not getting the players Duke's getting or Kentucky. Do you think? I mean, the 5 stars, the
nope.
Consistently.
Richie said the way it has been told is that it went south quicker for Guthridge than most thought.
Okay.
He was to be there a few more years than around what was when he took over. And he also said, here's the thing about Hubert. He has the same record at this point as Roy did in his first season at Carolina.
Okay.
Now, I'm not comparing the two. And the other thing, too, Richie, I read just a few minutes ago, Hubert came through the same development as Roy. When he came on, he was JV coach.
Right.
Okay. Roy was JV coach for Dean. Jay Moss, Cherryville. Jay played JV ball at Carolina, and he played for Roy.
Yeah.
But the difference is Roy had already left and went to Kansas and been successful.
Oh, yeah. That was a big difference.
And if I were Roy, I know that he felt that obligation to come back. I would have stayed and created my own legacy at Kansas instead of following in the footsteps of Dean Smith.
Yeah, but as it turned out, winning 3 national titles, he created his legacies of both Kansas and North Carolina.
Understand, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but that was my question, Richie. There's a saying in business: when businesses get to the 3rd generation, usually they don't last much after that.
That's true.
Because, and I saw somebody, and I cannot remember who this was, and everybody knows I'm a big TikTok follower because it's just great, cheap entertainment.
I agree with that.
They were talking about how people, if you've got a family member like a dad and everything, they have nothing, and he works his butt off to get there, and then by the time it gets to the 3rd generation, those kids have had it and never had to work, and it kind of falls off and you have to start all over again. Yeah. So I just think it's the same way. Mark said if Roy would not have named Hubert the coach in waiting, would the powers that be at Carolina made that hire? I don't believe they would have, but they acquiesced to Roy, to old Roy.
Of course.
And you know, that's probably true, but as long as they're willing to take the fallout if that little experiment doesn't work. And
well, we have no way of knowing. You just said that Hubie now has the same record that Roy did in his first year back to Carolina. In 2 or 3 years, I think you'll definitely be able to figure that out, if it's working or not.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, if he goes like 9-20 and something like that, that would be a red flag at some point.
Well, if you don't continue to build and get better, the recruiting's going to get worse, and it's all going to start to tumble. Yeah.
And I think we have the same thing at Duke. John Shire following
Roy.
Yeah, Coach
K. Mike.
And, you know, remember when John Wooden retired, the Wizard of Westwood, nobody lasted very long in that role.
Nobody wants to follow the legend. You want to be the second one that's hired after the legend.
After the legend.
Yeah.
You want to let somebody else.
You don't have that comparison. Yeah.
Let somebody else crash and burn. Then you get it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, let me take a time out. We come back. We'll continue the discussion. Appreciate your comments this morning. See you in a minute.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. And welcome back. Glad to have you here on a Friday morning. Don't forget the boys will be back in the morning, 8 to 10. Also simulcasting on WLON out of Lincolnton.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town.
Tim Lizzie said.
You are correct. You are correct, sir. Let's see. Richie said Milton seems to think Duke will be a train wreck for a couple years too, and that, you know,
possible.
As long as you understand that.
Yeah.
Brandon Eichert said they implemented a rule after Wooden. He coached in the Wild Wild West of recruiting back in the day.
Right.
Mark,
every advantage.
Mark said, I think Hubert has this year and next. If it doesn't get any better, old Hubert probably ain't getting a third year.
Ooh, you only think 2 years for Hubie?
Richie said, to answer that question, I'm not sure if and when they will go out of the Carolina family. There's Miller that coached at UNCG and is now at Cincy. There's a stigma.
Didn't know. Okay, so you went to Cincy.
There's a stigma from the alumni and former players that the coach should be from the family. As long as they don't care about the results, then that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But, you know, somewhere – and I think Miller didn't get the job because he was at lowly UNCG.
But now he
at least was a head coach.
But now he's at big-time Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's a big-time basketball school. It has been. You go back to when they were in the conference with Charlotte. Huggins, Bob
Huggins.
Bob Huggins, yeah.
I'll guarantee you, if Hubie doesn't do well, and Miller gets Cincinnati going pretty good, I can see Carolina come calling on Miller.
He's still in the family.
Still in the family.
Yeah.
By that time, he would have coached at a big-time basketball school, and he'd be ready to roll back to Chapel Hill, I would think.
Richie said he really didn't call him coach in waiting. There was always been things that were said that Roy brought him into grooming to be the coach, possibly the UNC coach. From his understanding, Roy mentioned he wanted Hubert to follow him after he announced his retirement.
Right.
Mark said, we have Kevin Keats at State. I would pay Carolina to take him away from the pack.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, but he ain't bringing home the bacon, let alone cooking it up.
Are you kidding? The last in the ACC, I think this is I'm not sure it's working out. It's going to work out with Keating.
And then Mark said, Richie, that's the semantics. Roy essentially named him the coach, and they rolled with it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, a rocket surgeon to figure that out.
That's true.
And Richie said a few other coaches such as Stackhouse and Rice. I just think you got to have more than just being inside the family on a program of that stature.
I think King Rice might have been a good choice. He's had head coaching experience. I don't know.
All right, before we get out of here, let me give you. I give you one more headline, then I got to go to the NBA because you know how I feel about the NBA.
Yeah.
The Commanders have blocked access to the documents. You're going to see a lawsuit come from this, a freedom of information type thing,
Right.
because it was used against Gruden, and you're going to see a huge lawsuit come out of this, and I'm anxious to see where it goes. Now, let me go NBA for just a minute, and I do not follow the NBA deeply, okay? I don't.
To put it mildly.
I mean, I know enough about it to be dangerous, I guess you'd say.
Me too.
But
Believe
this
me.
huge trade
I've never
yesterday.
watched a game this season. I've watched highlights because I watch sports now.
I'll watch a little playoff action.
I watch playoff.
That's about it.
Yeah, I watch the NBA Finals for sure.
Blockbuster trade yesterday. James Harden and Ben Simmons.
Okay.
Now, let me give you what I know just from hearing, and you NBA followers can help me out here. First of all, the Brooklyn Nets have got to be about as dysfunctional as anybody because they've got Kyrie Irving.
Yeah,
He's a Duke guy. There's not much there.
No.
There's not much there.
I
He beats to a different drummer.
He does.
He refused to be vaccinated. He can't play in home games.
Right.
I mean, there's just a whole list of things there.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, just a lot of baggage. So he's still there. But they swapped James Harden for Ben Simmons. Well, Ben Simmons didn't want to play for Philadelphia. And I told Brett last night, I said, I'm not convinced Ben Simmons wants to play anywhere. And from what I've read, he was such a catered-to youth player.
He was.
He doesn't understand the sacrifices you have to make. He wants to be catered to. And I'm just not sure. You know, Brett said, I like the trade because he'll play defense. Yeah, but will he play? Or will he get to Brooklyn and there'll be things he don't like over there and he does the same thing? He pouts and don't play.
For a number 1 pick or a top 5 pick or whatever he was, all he can do is play defense. That's not enough. He can't shoot.
He can't shoot. But Brett said that's what they need him for. Well,
Okay.
That's great, but you got half of the you still got to play the offensive end of the court too. So I don't know.
And now it's not working out for the Lakers with Russell Westbrook. And they need to jettison him from the team, it seems.
From the Lakers?
Yeah.
They'll have to ask Coach LeBron.
He's toxic.
But they'll have to ask Coach LeBron.
Yeah.
And LeBron's another one. He brings in these players, and then when they don't work, it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
I have said that wherever LeBron plays, and I'm not taking anything away from his talent, but wherever LeBron plays, they do not need a coach and they do not need a general manager because LeBron's calling those shots.
There's no question. That's been
And it doesn't always work out.
Wherever he goes, he picks the person.
He picks the roster. Yeah.
Right.
And he's the one that wanted Westbrook.
And it did work for 1 year in the bubble. The Lakers won the NBA title, and that's what it's all. That's enough. All right. I mean,
you know, I don't even think the Lakers make much of a run.
I don't either. I mean, they may not know. They'll be lucky to make the playoffs.
Yeah. And then LeBron's not getting any younger.
No,
I think
17 years.
I think LeBron has won his last championship.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets another one.
Yeah, he's not going to pull a Brady at really late in the game. I don't think.
And it takes him
Anthony
too long.
Davis,
He's been useless.
You don't know whether he's going to give you 35 and 15 or 17 and 7.
The unibrow.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, I just think there's, I like that trade when they made it for the Lakers, and I thought maybe Anthony Davis was sandbagging some because of where he was at with the Pelicans, but he wasn't.
No.
He's not going to play through things,
No, he's not.
and it's a shame. I mean, it really is a shame. Richie said that he hopes this is the start of the removal of Snyder. And I don't know, Richie. I think it would be good for the franchise. Mark said, my beloved Washington team now has the nickname of the Commos or the Commodes or
Commodes.
Maybe they play Commando. Who knows?
This whole Commanders thing, how in the world did we get there?
How weak of an identifier is that?
I'd
rather had Washington football team.
Yeah, just keep Washington football team. Everybody was getting used to it. Commanders?
You're right, Commandos.
Then you start thinking Commandos, and then I don't know. It's
it wasn't bad enough that Washington has become a joke. Now it's going to become a joke because of their nickname, because of their team name.
Yeah, not just for their play. And Daniel Snyder, one of the worst owners.
You're exactly right, Milton. Nobody asked me. I would have made them the taters. the Washington Taters. And I'd have had a Mr. Potato Head on the side of the helmet.
Yeah.
That's what I'd have had. But that's just me. That's just
The
me.
Commanders. It's all this time. That's
Commandos.
what they came up with.
All right, we got to get out of here a little bit early. I got real work to do.
I got real breakfast to get.
Yeah, we're going to go eat breakfast first. Michael Powell will be back tomorrow with the boys, with the Keevers, and tune in for that. Mark said, I want them to be the Cowboy Scalpers. No, that ain't going to work either, Mark,
No,
just in case you're wondering.
No.
Hope you guys have a good day. Mark hit them good out there. Todd Herm said the Washington Mullets.
Okay.
That would have been good.
Oh,
I like that.
Mullets,
I like that.
yeah.
Have a good one. The boys will see you here back in the morning about 8 o'clock. Be safe and be blessed out there, folks. See ya.